Hey guys, Armand here. Do you bill medical insurance? Do you have aged account receivables? Well, you could be entitled to a big fat check and no upfront costs for you to get that done. So listen for more information.
It's true. I mean, everything sounds too good to be true. Money for nothing, get your checks for free. A song from the 80s that everyone loves. Dire Straits, I guess. This goes back about 20 years that I started doing things like this. But I discovered as the chairman for the American Bar Association insurance law, how much the insurance companies are holding back on paying. And I'll give you an example. A particular company, I won't mention who it was, had an insurance policy that would pay in the event of death, but only if it was a cancer death. Well, the trick is no one dies of cancer. You die of renal failure, heart failure. So they were denying all the claims.
Oh my God.
This is what insurance company does. An adjuster's job is to deny a claim, delay a claim. It's personal injury attorneys have to go through this. Medical providers have to go through it. We have the ability to enforce laws that are on the books in all 50 states, and actually Puerto Rico, which is a U.S. territory, that enables you to get paid faster. For you to do this on your own, you wouldn't be able to do it. But our staff of certified billing encoders, attorneys, and administrators know how to get you paid. And we're going to put our money where our mouth is. We do it at no cost to you until we collect.
Love it.
So if you bill insurance, you have aged accounts receivable. Sometimes the medical provider isn't aware of that. Maybe the staff is writing everything off, but I guarantee you, you're owed money, and I guarantee you further, you're owed a lot of money.
They have a very special guest with me, Patty Deegan. How are you, Patty?
I'm very well, thank you.
So I want people to know about this very amazing project that you have going on and who qualifies, et cetera, because it's basically free money and nobody's doing it. This is, currently there is the ERC stuff going on. There's some other stuff going on, but you're basically the inventor of this. And this is something that's not, this is something in the sense of you're getting money and there is no upfront fees and you're getting money if you're qualified. It's very, very cool. I want you to tell us a little bit more about that and we'll go from there.
Well, it's something I've been doing for years. I've been a healthcare attorney for over 30 years. So I started it when I was 12. But what I found was every state has laws that insurance companies have to abide by. I was the American Bar Association chairman for insurance law, and that's where I learned a lot of this. The insurance companies go out of their way not to pay. People have to understand a claims adjuster's job is to deny a claim. Otherwise, your claim would just go into payment status. So they look for reasons to deny the claim, to not pay it. And predictably, a high percentage of the time, they don't pay it, or they don't pay it in time. Either way, you're entitled to damages. You're entitled to interest, and you're also entitled to a penalty. So we collect that for you.
Who is it for? Very briefly, who do you help? What type of company?
It's for any healthcare professional or a provider that is billing insurance for a health-related service. That would include physicians, chiropractors, even midwives, anybody that's nurse practitioners, anybody that's in the chain of healthcare. Of course, it keeps getting expanded. If you're billing insurance for a health-related service, we can help you.
How about a hospital or organizations like that, or no?
We can help hospitals a lot. Obviously, they bill insurance quite a bit. With hospitals, you're dealing with corporate bureaucracies, and it gets a little bit more difficult and complicated. Not our job, but getting through to the right people. But yes, we can absolutely help them.
Okay, so I want to quickly go to show me the money section. So tell me the last 90 days, how much money how much money you've gotten for your clients, and then we'll go a little bit on the how, but not too much.
The last 90 days we've collected. Now, what I'm talking about now are fees that were billed by a medical provider and not collected, that we went in and rebuild. On those claims, we've collected at least $8 million in the last 90 days. This program I've been doing since around 2002, but we started doing it outside my network of physicians only about 90 days ago. So if you were to ask me 30 days from now, it'll be significantly higher because we just started doing this.
Mm-hmm. So how does it work? What does someone need to have going on in their business to be qualified? So, there's two people listening here. There's someone that's like professional, like you mentioned. Then there's someone that knows a lot of those people that could also part. So tell us a little bit about that.
There's perception and reality here. The perception is by a lot of owners of medical practices or healthcare practitioners that they're getting a fair amount of what they're entitled to. The reality is they're not. The reason for that is a lot of the people really aren't in control of their business. They're focused on providing healthcare. They're not focused on their business. We help them focus on it. We look at their accounts receivable, the different payer mix, the insurance companies. We explain to them what the reality is, and that is virtually anybody that would see this video is on a list. It's not an official list, but the insurance companies know who they can delay the payment to and who they cannot pay. We change that for you because every state has laws to protect you and to punish the insurance company. It's a dual purpose. Healthcare is the largest industry in the United States. It's also the most heavily regulated. And we utilize those regulations to get you paid faster and more completely.
I love it. So typically, let's say the people that are coming to you, typically, how much money you're giving in their hands? This is money back that they're recovering from their business. This is a big fat check. How much do you usually give people that go through this no cost upfront process?
We only charge a fee on what we collect, obviously. So every practice is different. They're different in the sense of the services that they're billing for. So a surgical practice would be owed more money than a non-surgical practice. It depends on what their insurance payer mix is. A government insurance type practice might be owed less money. A Medicare or Medicaid practice, it really depends. It also depends on the current billing staff. We use only certified ICD 9, 10, and 11 certified billing staff. We also utilize healthcare attorneys such as myself to collect. Most practices do not have access to that level of expertise and staff. So we supplement what a practice already has so that we can complete the billing process and get the money that you're entitled to.
I love it. One thing that you told me off camera was that you're basically leveling up the playing field, right? So the insurance companies have their team of highly trained, specialized people, and typically the medical practices don't. They just have someone, maybe like you said, like so family
That's
member.
correct. It's not a level playing field.
It's not a level playing field.
Insurance companies have
yeah,
sophisticated software and personnel, and their job is to specifically deny a claim or delay it. Our job is to reverse that trend.
And one thing that I was mind blown when you said it, but I totally makes sense is that if they get away with not paying, you go almost like on a list. Hey, this guy is a sucker, yes. So
it's true. It's not an official list, but obviously a payor, which isn't always an insurance company. Certain unions are self-pay. For example, a sports team, not the team, but the actual union, they might be the payer, not an insurance company. There might be an administrator. That's their job. And that's what I explain to people. Even if you have a car accident and you've got property damage on your car, that's what the adjuster's job is, to limit the amount the insurance company pays you. That's why the personal injury attorneys that are all over the airwaves are explaining to you, let me fight for you. Well, that's what we do for healthcare providers. We fight for your rights because we know what you're entitled to. And you are protected by state law, but I guarantee you, you don't realize that. And you don't realize that there's a level of billing and coding that you're not familiar with. And I'll give people an example. In the past, when billing and coding was simpler, you could become a certified billing and coding person literally in 2 or 3 months. There would be a training course, you go through the curriculum, you go through the modules, you pass a test, and you get certified. Today, that same level of training is 2 years. And most practices don't commit that level of training to their staff. So they're missing out. Our staff is fully certified. They've been through the 2-year programs, and they've been doing this for a long time. We've been in business for 7.5 years, but our experience goes well beyond that. I've been a healthcare attorney for more than 30 years, and the other attorneys have their own experience as well.
Yeah, I love it. And then if you have like you can even tell me, for example, hey Armand, like the last 3 people that we went through this, and I know there's a lot of you have a big team there, so you might know exact numbers, but what is some of the checks that you've been able to, what is the amount you've been able to handle?
I actually just spoke with one of the administrators, and a solo practice in New York. So it was one doctor. There's no other providers. There's no nurse practitioners. There's no one else. He just received $209,000. And first of all, he had no idea that he was owed so much. And secondly, he had no idea that there was a mechanism to try and collect that money. You performed the service, you're owed the money, we'll help you collect it. And there's no out-of-pocket expense to you. If we don't collect, you don't pay us. We're confident we'll collect, and we put our service where our mouth is.
Exactly. And the thing that I love also about this is that this is not a one trick pony. This is not a like one thing, just we're not focusing on one thing with you guys. Once you guys give that check, to the 6-figure check to the doctor in that specific case, you have other ways to either lower costs or give them through other government programs. If you want, you can talk about that. Give them more money.
The beautiful thing about the other programs that we're now segueing into is, when is the last time you got a 6-figure check and didn't have to pay tax on it? The answer is normally never. So the program you're referring to is called the Employee Retention Credit. And medical practices, health practitioners, they are employers. So in a situation where you were in business prior to the beginning of the pandemic, which for the purposes of this Internal Revenue Service program is February 15th, 2020, and you have employees versus independent contractors, we are able to review your payroll records, your quarterly 941s, and your revenue for 2019, 2020, and 21. And in literally as little as about 9.5 minutes, and I've done this myself, and I know how long it takes, we can determine what you're entitled to in the form of a refund, cash in your hand, from the Internal Revenue Service. And we have a way that you can get paid in as little as 1 week. And the best part is the money that we get for you is tax-free. So we actually, what we're talking about today are 2 different programs that can each generate 6 figures in a very short period of time. The first one, medical fee recovery, that's money will start coming in 30 days, 45 days, really starts coming in. And on the employee retention credit, it can start coming in. We can get you the money in as little as a week to 10 days. No one else does that. Because if you wait for the IRS to pay, you're going to wait 10 to 12 months. But with our program, we can get you funded in about a week. So again, we're putting our money where our mouth is.
I love it. I don't think there is anything else to add on my end. I just think it's a truly no-brainer to.
They're very simple. I explained that both programs are highly complex, but they're very simple. The complexity we'll handle that for you. The simplicity, that's your job.
There you go.
It's on the IRS program, because I've done this for clients, if they get the information that I asked them for, which would take maybe a half an hour to compile, it literally takes 9.5 minutes to apply. On the medical fee recovery, the setting that process up, we call it onboarding, takes about 45 minutes and it's normally staff time, not the medical provider's time. They're very simple. The agreements are simple. We try and make everything as easy as possible. I've been doing both of these types of things for a very long time, and I realize simplicity is really important. Everything's in black and white, very clear. And you know, Armin, you were on a call yesterday. We took some steps to make it even more simple.
So we'll leave the information below again for people. And yeah, I just had to share this because this is a very, very cool opportunity. Thank you guys so much, and we'll talk soon.
Everyone
Thank you,
take care.